Here we go.
Egg prices are going up. Why? Same reason they were under Biden, bird flu. I know. Trump and the Republicans never gave him any credit for it. They just beat him over the heads with it. That's politics. Now it's Trump's problem. Now the suggestion is that we all grow chickens in our backyard. I think that's a joke. And I'm going to discuss that with the Secretary of Agriculture. But what does it mean for our farmers?
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean it's a joke? We can all just grow our own eggs. That's perfect. I'll take all of your refugee chickens, and I'll take the eggs, and I'm gonna throw them at your face. That's what I'm gonna do with the eggs. They're just gonna be used as weapons.
Passed to help bring down food costs. Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins. Congratulations on the position, and thank you for joining us.
Can we just jump right in on the price of eggs?
Yeah, jump right in, lady. Tell me why price of eggs are so high.
Please.
Is this guy what? Chris, are you sucking a lozenge? Get whatever's in your mouth out of your mouth, Chris Cuomo.
Okay, so here we go. The first thing I think is important to note, it's a lot more. We rolled a plan out last week. Raising chickens in the backyard is something the Democrats gleamed onto. That was an aside that certainly if anyone wants to do that's not a bad idea. But at the end of the day,
it's a bad idea. Growing chickens in your backyard are a really bad idea. You know why? Almost every case of bird flu that has been really dangerous to people was caught from backyard chickens. You fucking idiots. If you think that growing a chicken in your backyard is a good idea because the price of eggs is high, you're a moron. You're stupid. You deserve to get bird flu, but I don't want everyone else getting it. So please don't do it, idiots. What in the hell? You've got to be brain dead in the time of bird flu to be pushing out this idea that you should all grow. What we should do is get more chickens in our backyards.
we had a pretty massive 5-point plan. I was 1 week on the job. This problem started years ago under Joe Biden. Our 5-point plan was almost $1 billion, $500 million for biosecurity to lock the barns down. Number two, how we get the repopulated flocks back after Joe Biden culled and depopulated almost 160 million birds.
160 million birds were killed. Yes, that's true. But those were the corporations doing that dumb shit because they didn't want the bird flu spreading. Do you want bird flu? That's the other option. You think you're going to inoculate 10 billion chickens? Is that your plan?
3 is deregulation, getting the government off the back of some of these chicken farmers so they can get back out there right away. Number 4 is importing eggs. We announced a deal with Turkey last week.
I think he is zinning. Look at his mouth. I think he's zinning this whole time. He's just got his nicotine in there. RFK Jr. says nicotine's good for you. Zin away.
Week to import almost 70 million eggs. We've got another couple coming online very soon to get eggs on the shelf immediately. And number 5, the longer term is importing eggs. We announced a deal with Turkey last week.
Turkey, yeah. Erdogan is a goddamn dictator who murders people. He's really bad on human rights, and we're importing eggs from him. If you're eating eggs, you're supporting a dictator. That should be the new line. If you don't like dictatorships, you should stop eating eggs. You dumb, stupid egg eaters. Stop eating eggs.
To import almost 70 million eggs. We've got another couple coming online very soon to get eggs on the shelf immediately. And number 5, the longer term plan was putting some good money into vaccine and therapeutic research. The vaccines are not ready yet. A lot of people wanted us to move vaccines out right away, but we just didn't believe it was the right time.
Look at those happy chickens. Look at them. That's how your chicken farms look. It's funny. All of the egg producers that I visited, not one has looked like this. Not one. Not even one.
Not enough research had been done, and we need to ensure it will actually help the problem, not make the virus stronger and jump to other species.
It's already jumped to other species. Cows have it. People have it. Pigs have it. Seals have it. Sea lions have it. Penguins have it. What do you mean jump to other species? Albatrosses have it. Geese have it. Ducks have it. Turkeys have it. Cats have it. Dogs have it. Every species on Earth probably has it now. What do you mean we're going to keep it from jumping to other species? What are you talking about? This is the head. This is Secretary of Agriculture? Are you serious? Secretary Brooke Rollins I'm shocked, actually, that she just said that. Shocked. We don't want to roll out vaccines right away because we don't want to make it worse and make the virus stand up against vaccines. And we want to make it so it won't jump to other species. It's in all of the species. The penguins have it. What are you talking about? Like, we already know that like 82% of cats who get it die because cats get it. The fuck are you talking about?
So that's the 5 point plan. But the other thing I want to say, if you don't mind, Chris, is we're talking about the high price of eggs. And I want to show your viewers this chart. So you'll see here that this is 40 years of egg prices, right? 40 years. The blue is
Nice, nice. Okay, the blue is Republican, the red is Democrat. No, just joking. The blue is Democrat, the red is Republican. Got it. Okay. Bird flu hit really broke out right there. Let's see this. There's a spike right here because of the first bird flu outbreak, and then it dropped because of Barack Obama doing his job. And then look at this.
is Obama, the first Obama term. The red, you'll see that prices of eggs go up. The red, the prices go back down. That's under President Trump the last time. And then the blue is when they skyrocketed. So certainly avian flu has a lot to do with it, but it's also the high cost of inputs, the unbelievable amount of regulation, the
Unbelievable amount of regulation. As a guy who has been to many bird egg farms producers, they're not farms really. They're just all just disgusting concentration camps. They're as a person who has actually been to the concentration camps and the human concentration camps and also the chicken concentration camps, I've been to a lot of concentration camps. And let me tell you, they don't seem very regulated. I'm sorry. They're walking around, no PPE. There's very little biosecurity. There's some, but there's very little. The birds get sick, nobody cares because they usually send them to slaughter before anybody knows. If they get sick, they get slaughtered. If they're not laying eggs, they get slaughtered. Pretty easy when you do things that way. What do you think happened in human concentration camps? If they got sick, they got medicine? No, if they got sick, they got slaughtered. Same thing with chickens. If you're not producing, you get slaughtered. There's no regulation. Very little. What do you think? No regulation? Hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent on this for the hundreds of millions of chickens that have been killed.
shutting down of our export markets. We have a $49 billion deficit in our ag products since
We won't have our ag product. Our egg exports are low because, well, they're going to get even lower if we start inoculating birds. A lot of places won't accept eggs because they've been inoculated.
Joe Biden took office. Do you know how much of a deficit we had under President Trump when we left? Zero. So there's a lot more that goes
Lies. That's not true. There's never such a thing as a zero trade deficit.
into this than just the avian flu, and we're working really hard to address it.
Yeah.
Tariffs. First time Trump put tariffs on in his first administration, farmers were hit hard. Wasn't your problem then. There was a huge subsidy, more than we spend on a lot of things like aspects of nuclear development, children's health, went to farm subsidies to offset the tariffs. This time, I don't know that we have the money to do it. Are you worried about what the impact will be on America's farmers if these tariffs take bite?
God damn it. You know what? Chris Cuomo got fired because he was unethical in dealing with the stories that were coming out about his brother. He was a disgraced newsman because no one could trust him because he was lying. He was misrepresenting and doing weird shit because his brother got in trouble. He should have just recused himself and just refused to just get involved. But instead, he did some shady shit. So he got fired. So now he's on News Nation. But now I feel like he's just lost it. He's a shadow of the man he once was.
Listen, every minute of every day, my job is to focus on America, effectuating the president's vision to make America great again and to protect our farmers and our ranchers. There is no doubt that the ag economy is at its thinnest margin than it has been in our entire lifetimes. A lot of that has to do with the last administration. As I mentioned, the exports that are down, our deficits down $49 billion.
How long do you want to have blamed? I love that they're all It's great that the Republicans, they're really good at all having this unified front. What are we going to do? We're going to blame Biden for the eggs. What are we going to do? We're going to blame Biden for the eggs. That's all we're going to do. We're going to blame Biden. That's great. But what are you going to do in 6 months? You can still blame Biden? It's Biden's fault that the egg prices are so high. You're going to import eggs from Turkey. Is that what we're doing? That's a trade deficit. If we're importing eggs from Turkey, that is a trade deficit.
Dollars. A lot of that has to do with the cost of input, but a lot of it has to do with we've got to get our product out into the world. And when we do that, we will solve for
How do we have our product out in the world if there are no chickens?
a lot of these problems. In the last 2 weeks since I was sworn in, I've been in 5 different states. I've met with hundreds of farmers. I have heard their concerns directly, even this morning with 50 different states, all 50 states represented by their farming community. And I've heard them and heard them loud and clear. The president is with our ag community. His heart for the farmers.
I love you, farmers. I love you so much. Did you see that during the speech? I love you, farmers. Wink. Meanwhile, all the farmers, all the contracts that the government has made with the farmers, completely gone. All the birds are dead. No, he does not love you, farmers. He does not love you one bit. Your tariffs are about to get tariffs. You can take those tariffs right up the butt.
Last night at the State of the Union. He talked about the farmers multiple times. I trust his vision. I trust the team that has been put in place. While the next short term may be slightly unpredictable, which is what the president talked about last night, for the long term, what the president has said is that our ag community will be more prosperous than perhaps it's been in our entire lifetime. And I believe him. And my job is to ensure that community.
Oh, look at that. How much is a looks like $5.20 is a gallon of milk these days? Is that what is that normal? $5.20 already? Jesus. Looks like this whole fragile food system we've constructed around animal protein is falling down around our ears. Maybe we should stop exploiting animals. That would be the case. That would help us all. Maybe we stop relying on fragile food systems and we start building robust food systems that are impervious to things like zoonotic diseases and outbreaks. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Animals get diseases. Yeah, plants can get blights and plants can get diseases too, but we can plant around them. We can pick them out and put them back. We can do all sorts of things with plants that don't involve murdering a bunch of animals and costing us a bunch of money. This idiotic reliance on animal protein has put us in a situation where we've all got our thumbs up our asses and we're afraid about the price of everything. The price of eggs, the price of eggs, the price of milk, the price of eggs. What if it were the price of corn, the price of soy? Would that be a different conversation? Absolutely, it would be, because guess who's eating all the corn and the soy? It's cows and chickens. Stop farming cows and chickens. Everything gets cheaper. Everything. It really would solve a ton of problems. And we would maybe get fewer diseases.
Is heard and protected.
Actually, we would absolutely get fewer diseases if we didn't buy bloody pieces of flesh wrapped in cellophane.
As we move into the coming weeks.
Oh, look at that. $14.99. How much is that? $2 a pound for a piece of flesh, a piece of dead cow. $2 per pound. Wow. That's on sale though. It's great, huh? USDA, grade A beef. How disgusting, right? So rare that I really look at it. It really is gross. This bloody piece of flesh that's been dyed to make it look red because animals' flesh turns black when you cut it. Animals turn black, so they have to gas it and dye it in order so it looks red because that's what it's supposed to look like. Are you insane? Why would you buy this?
In months.
Secretary, I believe you because I have no reason not to. The same does not apply to the president because the tariffs the first time around did not do that for the farmers, and he made the same promise. And now there are even more tariffs. That's why I'm putting it on the radar for people, because I know they're going to be hit if these tariffs stay in place. I don't think they will stay in place.
Nobody thinks they will stay in place. There you go, Chris Cuomo. No one thinks they will stay in place because the president's a pussy. He's a big talker. He's a paper tyrant. He's a paper tyrant. No teeth at all. That's why Hamas doesn't believe him either. Oh, there's going to be hell to pay. No one believes you, Donald. No one believes you.
That's not your call. That's not my call. But if they do stay in place, I don't know how it's not even worse than the first time around. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. And you're always welcome here to make the case. Brooke Rollins, I wish you well. The country needs it.
I would love to come back and talk to you about that because the last time we do think it worked, and this time it's going to be even more. So I look forward to the continuing conversation.
You think it worked? You thought those tariffs worked? Wow. Tariffs screwed over farmers and they voted him back into office. He reversed track last time. He'll reverse track this time. He's already done it. He's already backed off on the auto industry. Well, even though during his speech a couple days ago, his speech on Tuesday was all about, he even said, I talked to the big three and they're really excited about tariffs. They're really excited. Apparently, that was a lie because the big three reached out and put their fists up his ass and told him back off on the tariffs. And guess what? He did. He backed off because he is a cuck. He's a nobody. He's a loser. Donald Trump. He just ends up winning because a bunch of people are tricked by him.